Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Deborah. Welcome to my channel. It's the last day of the month. Today, I'm going to add to the video about things that I wanted people to know about me. I forgot two very important ones. I used to own a dress shop, and I also had my real estate license in Florida. I studied for a couple of months, and I was told you have to have like a 75, I think, to pass the test. And I was told that some attorneys can't even pass this. Well, I took the test and passed it the first time. I was just elated. I was so happy. And I immediately got in with a broker. This broker was a tyrant, let me tell you. He made us, this is before everything got so much computerized. This was in the early 90s. He made us do our own closing statements. Now, if you know what a closing statement is, if you've ever went to buy real estate, you'll know what a closing statement is. But a lot of realtors make a mistake and don't give it to you to the closing date. That is a very bad move. And I have lost real estate transactions because I got it at the last minute. Your realtor, it's not realtor, it's realtor, should give that to you a week in advance. They can pretty much estimate, because this is what my broker would teach us how to do. Now everything's automated, but my broker made us do it old school, and we had to do our own closing statement, which was quite hilarious. But yeah, do not let a realtor give you the closing statement on the day of closing. That is just negligent. You should get it a little bit before closing. You have the right to walk out of closing. I have sold, I think, 50 acres once, and the guy that had the contract never showed up. Oh, let me tell you, I was a little bit frantic. I didn't know that things like that could happen, and I thought my real estate listing agent would like back me on this. No, he didn't get in trouble. Now, I could have filed a lawsuit, but you have to have money to file a lawsuit. But you don't have to show up for closing, because this guy never got in trouble for not showing up. He was a con. He was definitely a con. There are so many scams in real estate. This is what I advise everyone, that you really should go and take a real estate course. This will make you money, because you will know what is true and what is a scam, okay? And if you go in there, see, knowledge is power. You really should take a real estate course, or at least get one online. I bought the books. Actually, I tried to become a realtor when I lived in Colonial Beach, but I had to have an emergency operation. Me and this other guy was the only one in class. It cost us $500. His dog caused him to break his arm. He couldn't take the preliminary test that Coldwell Banker wanted us to take. I couldn't take it because I was in the hospital. By the time I recuperated from this operation, I called back and I said, I'm ready to take the preliminary test. They go, no, you didn't do it in a timely manner. Now we're going to charge you another $100. That's BS. If a broker really wants you to work for them, they would have covered that charge or just eliminated it. It was some stupid corporate thing that they had done. Yeah. And I remember when I was a realtor in Florida, I didn't have money to join the board of realtors. And so I lost a sale. And when the broker found out about it, because I wasn't a member of the board of realtors, it was like 500 years ago. I don't know what it is now. But you got to buy your lock boxes and all that other stuff. She says, why didn't you tell me? I said, I don't want anybody, doing that for me. But I lost a nice sale from that. But I was very good at real estate. I listed 2 and sold 2 the first month. Okay? And always get everything in writing. If you want to give away a listing, you better get that in writing, because one of my associates for Realty World took one of my listings and never gave me the, what is it called? when they give you a little bit of perks for giving them, a listing. Get everything in writing, record everything, because I associate realtors with used car salesmen. They're not going to tell you everything, right? Never sign a contract off the cuff. Take it home and study it on your own. Because during my divorce, I was selling a condo at a most beautiful community, Harbor Island. During a divorce proceedings, I had 7 of them. My ex, my husband at the time, handed me a contract to sign because we were selling one of our homes, our summer homes. I said, I'm not signing this right now. I haven't even looked it over. He got furious. But listen, don't never be forced to sign something unless you can take it home, sleep on it for 24 hours. And he was just livid. Well, sorry, okay. But yeah, there is so much that you need to learn about real estate transactions. And you have the right, if someone gives you a contract, to cross out things, add something, and it's not ratified until both parties have signed. You can amend any contract. I don't care what it is. You have the right to cross it out, date it, initial it, and then give it back to the person and see if they, agree to it and sign it. You do not have to agree to everything in that contract. If you want to stay another 2 months in that house before you leave, you have the right to add that. You have the right to ask for anything. I remember when I sold my place in Colonial Beach, they wanted my curtain rods. And I go, wait a minute. I didn't have curtain rods when I bought the place. Why do I have to give up the curtain rods now, and then when the home inspection, that's another thing. If the real estate agents are hiring the home inspector, that's a big red flag. You hire your own, because they have an agreement with home inspections to pass no matter what. Because on my home inspection at Colonial Beach, I had this feeling the building was not stable. It's another reason why I wanted to get out of there. Also, when you have a condo with HOA, they have the right to raise those assessments every year. The last assessment assessed to the property that I sold was 26 grand. That's not even talking about the monthly HOA dues, which can go up. It's just like when you buy a timeshare. Those maintenance fees, if you don't read that contract, that they have the right to increase the increments every year, and you may be paying more for the timeshare than if you just went and rented the place for a week. You see, so many people have been scammed with that. So there is just so many problems that you can get a hold of. Now, one reason why I wanted to take the real estate course is my first house that I owned, the realtor, I had already bought another house in Weems, and I was renting out my house in Lancaster County. She told me that you have to get rid of the renters. We can't move this property until you get them out of your house that you've been renting. I knew something wasn't right. But you see, if I had taken the real estate course, I would have known if you have an existing lease or rental agreement, that has precedent over any other transaction. You see, she had no right to tell me that. And here I had to tell them they had to leave. I gave her a week or something, but she was a family of like 4 people. I still feel bad to this day because my realtor told me wrong. Okay. Keep watching. So, so I lost that income from the rent because I made my renters leave. Just hear me out. Any existing lease has precedent over any other future transactions. Now, when I bought my condo in Ocean City, I signed the contract I remember walking down the boardwalk and the real estate agent called me and says, well, we forgot to tell you that somebody's renting this place that you just signed a contract for 7 months. You see what I'm talking about? So I couldn't even move in for 7 months. I had to honor that because you have to honor any existing rental agreements. And of course that money came to me. Okay. Now here's another thing. Before I signed the contract, I realized water was leaking, down the fireplace. And you have the right to ask them to fix that before you go to closing or before, you sign the contract. You're not obligated to fix it. That is something, if you want to move the property to this buyer, yeah, you might want to fix it. But I highly advise everybody to at least know the basics of real estate transactions. You can Google any question and it'll come up. So that's enough for the real estate. Let's see. Yeah, and don't let them tell you that you can't close when you want. I closed on my house here in 12 days, okay, because there was no home inspection. There was no contingencies. The minute you put all these limitations, you could lose the property that you want. But this was during that real estate boom where the prices were almost doubled, and the sellers could get what they wanted. They could what, cash. I paid cash. But another thing is, the reason why you should get your closing statement before is because some of these realtors will throw in a home warranty. They did that to me, $1,000. And these home warranties, no matter what's wrong with your house, they're going to find some reason, oh, that's not covered. No, you're better off not doing that, I'm telling you. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but when I finally did have something go wrong, of course, the warranty companies are going to fight with you. Same thing with car warranties. It's just mostly a con. So, yeah. And I'm questioning. I said, when did I order this? Oh, I thought you said you wanted it. Well, I surely don't remember. I could have crossed that out. They would have had to go back into their computer, redo another closing statement, and take off that $1,000. I would have been $1,000 richer. This is what they do. It's called the element of surprise, where they just throw something at you at the last minute. You do not have to agree to that. Now, I wish I had said, no, let's go back to the drawing board. I'm not going to pay that, And the sellers and the buyers, the seller could write the contract saying they're not going to pay any closing costs. You could make the buyer pay it all, or vice versa, or you could split it down the half. There is there's certain conditions that are kind of like standard, but you can change that, people. Okay? You can change how much you want down. And I learned in real estate school that you can offer them a 6-pack of beer and a pizza for your down payment. Okay? Don't let them say, oh, you need to put down 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever. You can put down, I'll give you a 6-pack of beer and a pizza. Okay? And a contract, you must have some kind of, I remember the first house I bought, I gave them $1. This was back in 1976. I gave them $1 to ratify that contract because you have to have some kind of money transaction. So it's an incredible career. I was really good at it, but I have learned from my mistakes and their mistakes. So, yeah. Don't be intimidated because you're allowed to take the test more than once, So thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody. Bye.